On Saturday, a supermarket in Buffalo, New York was the site of a mass shooting that left 10 people dead, 3 wounded. Mass shootings here in America aren't exactly big news. It seems like it happens a couple times every week. In fact, if we covered mass shootings on the show, I mean, that's all we would cover. America has a problem. We're awash in guns, but we're also awash in white supremacy, white nationalism, and hatred. So now this story, of course, is has all of these things. Now the perpetrator, who has been taken alive, is an 18-year-old white man named Peyton Gendron. Peyton Gendron was apparently motivated by right-wing conspiracy theories spread by Republicans, including Tucker Carlson, but you also have conservative candidates and other Fox News personalities. So now, he allegedly posted a detailed 180-page manifesto, which includes racism, anti-Semitism, and anti-immigrant themes, including the white replacement theory. Now, that document, which was reviewed by Buffalo 4 News, showed that he had plotted the attack in detail down to the minute and included diagrams of his path to the store, and that he specifically targeted the Tops Market location because its zip code happened to have the highest percentage of black people. In case that wasn't clear enough, he had also written on his gun, "Here's your reparations," and then used the N-word. So, I don't know, it seems to me that there's a bit of a racial motive here. Now, that manifesto also, again, includes all these different elements to it: anti-Semitism, racist memes, and again, went and cited Great Replacement many, many times. Now, what's interesting about that is that Great Replacement generally is this conspiracy theory that doesn't involve black people. So now what is it then? Well, it falsely alleges that white people are being replaced by, in America, by immigrants in caravans funded by George Soros from Mexico, from, the southern border, or even Muslim countries. And those people allegedly come here and vote for Democrats. Again, bonkers conspiracy theories, but that's what we have. That's unfortunately has taken root in the right wing. So now the document also claims that critical race theory is part of a Jewish plot and a reason to justify the mass killings of Jewish people. So as you can see, all these different things in his head, all part of some big plot. Now, never mind, of course, the fact that undocumented immigrants actually are not legally able to vote. There's no actual evidence that they are voting. And by the way, it doesn't even matter at this point because what they're doing, this entire conspiracy theory has been shoehorned, mainstreamed into right-wing media. It's now basically a main tenet of the Republican Party. I mean, yes, it was like, well, of course they're bringing in, they're shipping people in, or the Democrats are opening the border. There's an invasion, the immigrants, they're flooding in, and what are they going to do? They're going to vote for Democrats. It's been mainstreamed, everybody. Mainstreamed. Now, one of the people that has helped mainstream this into the party is Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is a gigantic part of this. Now, that said, Tucker Carlson is not the originator of these different conspiracy theories. But he is a boon to the people who believe them because he platforms these conspiracy theories. And so there's this pipeline that exists on the right wing when it comes to disinformation and narratives. And I've talked about this before, right? So you have conspiracy theories that start on the fringes. For example, QAnon. A great example. QAnon started off in the fringes and then bubbled up to the top. And now, of course, you have candidates that are QAnon or QAnon adjacent. And then you have, of course, people talking about groomers in the classroom. That's the whole groomer panic that's been going on in the right wing, where they talk about, oh, LGBTQ plus teachers. They're out there. They're grooming your children into the trans lifestyle or transgender ideology. And they consistently talk about the trans ideology, the gay ideology. Just another effect of that. Just another example of this pipeline and how these fringe ideas get brought up to the mainstream. Now, for this one, well, you had the great white replacement or whatever. Great replacement, white replacement, essentially interchangeable. This guy was radicalized by forums online. One of these forums, including 4chan, apparently, it said that he was bored at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. Well, you know, a lot of people were bored during the COVID pandemic. I have ADHD. I am bored all the time, constantly. I don't go out and shoot people. I don't plan out racist attacks. There's a little bit more here at play, it feels like, than just a little bit of boredom. So I really hate that. So now 4chan or 8chan or 8kun or whatever it's known as now tends to be a place where these things tend to pop up, as well as obscure conspiracy blogs from the right wing. Then, of course, they bubble up from that. They spread online through Facebook groups and Twitter accounts, ends up being talked about by other blogs, and then InfoWars, Gateway Pundit, Warren Southern, Michelle Malkin, Nick Fuentes, all of these people end up talking about this. In fact, talking about white replacement theory, I have a video here from Nick Fuentes, who is ecstatic that Tucker Carlson had begun talking about white replacement theory. Take a look.
You see it already. You've got a lot of people that watch Tucker. You know, when I watch Tucker, I say, oh, he's red-pilled, but he can't say everything that he knows. Young people that are watching Tucker don't see it that way. They see Tucker dropping full red pills. Young people see, when Tucker says population replacement is a voting rights issue, there are young people that go, yep, yes, that's so true, it is. And before I went live on my show, I watched a clip from Tucker Carlson's show. And I noticed that Tucker Carlson was saying the exact same thing that I said last night. And that's okay. And in the spirit of America First, and we've got to get used to saying this, I saw that monologue and I said, okay. So, you know, my talking points, I guess, are now mainstream enough that they're on Fox News.
My talking points are mainstream enough to be on Fox News. This is coming from somebody who is deeply racist and misogynistic, an overall terrible person, also virgin incel, who tends to blame women for essentially everything. But he's talking about, oh my gosh, it's mainstream now. Wonderful. So now I have an example of him talking about white replacement theory on his show. Take a look.
Of course, you're not working to import as many new citizens as we can into the United States to replace all the disobedient ones who didn't vote for us. In other words, you're being replaced, and there's nothing you can do about it. So shut up. The great replacement theory, it's a lie, they yelled. George Soros has nothing to do with that. Stop talking. They said we were espousing something called the great replacement theory, a well-known racist fantasy. The great replacement. They acknowledge that it's real, and they love it. This policy is called the great replacement, the replacement of legacy Americans with more obedient people from faraway countries. The great replacement plan is working. Now, I know that the left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement, if you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world.
Well, would you look at that? That is the mainstreaming of white nationalist talking points. Talking points echoed by the Boston shooter. In fact, I'm going to give you a quote here from one of Tucker Carlson's monologues. And then we're going to compare this to Gendron's manifesto. In fact, here it is. It's Tucker Carlson. When confronted or pressed for details, proponents of diversity retreat into a familiar platitude, which they repeat like a Zen koan. Diversity is our strength, but is diversity our strength? The less we have in common, the stronger we are? Is that true of families? Is it true in neighborhoods or businesses? Of course not. Then why is it true of America? Nobody knows. Nobody's even allowed to ask the question. So now let's go to Gendron here. Why is diversity said to be our greatest strength? Does anyone even ask why? It is spoken like a mantra and repeated ad infinitum. Diversity is our greatest strength. Diversity is our greatest strength. Diversity is our greatest strength. Said throughout the media, spoken by politicians, educators, and celebrities, but no one ever seems to give a reason why. What gives a nation strength, and how does diversity increase that strength? What part of diversity causes the increase in strength? No one can give an answer. That right there is almost word for word, verbatim, what Tucker Carlson had been saying. That's interesting. And by the way, it's not just Tucker Carlson, it's many in the Republican Party. You have Donald Trump describing Latino immigrants as an invasion. In a speech, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene called the elections of Representative Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib an Islamic invasion into our government. Representative Elise Stefanik ran campaign ads on Facebook saying this: radical Democrats are planning their most aggressive move yet, a permanent election insurrection. Their plan to grant amnesty to 11 million illegal immigrants will overthrow our current electorate and create a permanent liberal majority in Washington. Interesting. So, is replacement theory. Right there. It's right there. It's everywhere. So understand that this is not just a fringe. It's the modern Republican Party. It is the far right that is echoing neo-Nazi talking points. This is not hyperbole. It's fact. It's right in front of your eyes. You can see it. And if you choose not to see it, what does that say about you? No, they are using racist rhetoric, and they're getting, and by the way, they're using real issues created by corporate rule, low wages, inflation, rich people getting richer while we get poorer. Those are real issues. But they're using these issues, again, to blame on corporations, CEOs, and laws that basically help the rich keep more of their money while they extract more from you and expect more from you in order to go after the weakest people in the country that are immigrants. They have no power to fight back. That's why they target them. They have no power. There's no immigrant lobby, okay? There's no migrant lobby. There's no poor people lobby. No, it's the people with the money. It's the people that already have the power, that already have all the wealth, that are very, very concerned. Like, well, if they realize how bad we're screwing them, they're going to come after us. So why don't we point them at immigrants, black people, minorities? Let's do that. Let's have them all fight each other, divide and conquer, so they don't figure out who's really screwing them over. And of course, they also go after the Jews. Because the Jews, look, they've been scapegoated all throughout history. And so it's not surprising that they always go back to that one. So it is incredibly disturbing, and even more so the fact that there are certain people in this country that are supposedly on the left that just ignore that all of this is happening.